Hello my little recusants and welcome back to another episode of our Final Fantasy II 100% guide. We are continuing with our quest to 100% the entire Final Fantasy series, and obviously our current projects are Final Fantasy II, Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. And we are currently in Castle Flynn. We are still hunting down treasure chests in the hopes of completely unlocking every treasure chest within the game, as well as obviously filling out the bestiary, which we're making very, very good progress on that at this juncture. Collect those 2 treasure chests upstairs and then continue on collecting treasures as we go. Once again, using your mini-map just to kind of see around the different nooks and crannies, but also pressing square will bring up the whole map, and typically all of the treasure chests are actually there in the wider map, even if they're not marcated on the mini-map in the top right of your screen. But basically, guys, we've turned off encounters for now just because I was realizing in the editing of many other episodes of this series that having to try and do your encounters while trying to get to different treasure chests was just an exercise in utter torment, and probably made it really difficult for you guys following along when every 2 seconds was interrupted with some sort of random encounter. So I just have turned off the encounters just to let me run along, collect my spider silk, collect my high potions, collect my clothes. The loot in this area is not that great, it has to be said. And as I say, just actually quickly checking there, what number of chests do we have left within Castle Flynn. You'll notice that Flynn, the town, still has a collection of treasure chests still to be unlocked. But we're after unlocking a battle. So for now, we're just going to have to deal with all these different enemies, and we're after expanding Tainted's repertoire even further. So we're going to use Protect and Aura, and then hopefully we can use there's no tears in this one. But hopefully we can use fire to basically get rid of all these undead. Unfortunately, not that Layla's magic is subpar, because it is. Her magic isn't as good as Tainted's. But as you can see, these guys, the yellow specters, I think it is, they're actually hitting quite hard. DJ is taking thousands of damage. He's actually at half health. So we definitely want to try our best to get rid of the yellow enemies there, because they are quite powerful. And we're going to up our evasion with Blink, and then hopefully with Tainted's high level of Thunder. But I do think Fire does more damage. I think Thunder is basically resisted, but if you throw enough proverbial SH1T at a wall, it'll probably stick. And obviously DJ, whenever he collides with anything, is going to do absolutely extreme damage. So, I should have just clocked in and just realized all these yellow guys are bad news. Just lock in, target them with DJ. We would have had them finished in 2 turns, 900 damage, instant KO, it's just... And that's after taking a good bit of lightning damage from Tainted as well. And I then I'm trying to use Berserk, I'm trying to use all the other buff spells. But what I end up then trying to level as well, Tainted, I know you're probably just stick me with one spell and stop giving me all these different spells to work through. But I do end up really enjoying Death, and kind of using Recusant's Teleport and Tainted's Death in an AoE spell effect is actually really good for just blitzing through these encounters. And when I say this, I mean that in the next episode, this next episode after this one, we had to hunt for a particular monster. There was a rare spawn of an enemy within a cave system. And when I say I quite literally went through those fights and those random encounters for about 40 minutes. like, there was genuinely 40 minutes of me not being able to progress past a certain dungeon because I was just hunting for enemies. And, like, these enemies were appearing regularly. I was fighting tons of enemies. So by the end of next episode, you're going to see our characters basically reach the max threshold for an awful lot of their abilities. They're going to reach max HP, they're going to reach max magic points, etc, etc. Like, it's crazy the amount of damage that the amount of experience we gain having to deal with the pain of trying to get that one particular enemy to spawn. So please forgive me on that, but all of that is to say the use of teleport in as an AoE and death as an AoE really did help get rid of those enemies quite well. Now, what's super scary at the moment is that Tainted and DJ are currently petrified. If Bad Breath had have hit everybody, we would have had a game over. So, Blur, really, really powerful there. And I wasn't sure if Asuna worked. So I single targeted Asuna and then I Gold Needle, knowing that Gold Needle would work. So at least we know that Asuna can do AoE protection and can get rid of Petrify, which is good. But like, you just can't be complacent, guys. Not one bit at all. So just make sure you've Blink on, and like that, Petrification completely removed all of their buffs. They no longer have Blur, so it's a lot. It's a lot and it's difficult. But you know, Layla's doing 11 damage. Good on her. You know, she was there. No, listen, we can't give out shit to Layla because she used a Gold Needle and she was there and she was able to use the items and heal up our actual party members. So do you know what? We stan Layla. Give me a thumbs up in the comments. Say we stan Layla in the comments. And I suppose I might as well say now, because we're kind of getting a lot of new people to the channel. Please leave a like and a comment on the videos. They really genuinely make my day. I enjoy building a community, chatting to people, seeing what they enjoyed or what they liked about the different episodes. And what's funny is that I'm even finding series that I would have completed, like the Final Fantasy X-2 series, the Final Fantasy X series, like they're still getting comments. They're still getting comments, they're still getting left, you know, messages and stuff. So, you know, I might be asking this now in 2025 and maybe someone a year from now is just going through these old collections and just found my guide, and you know, I just want to just say that just if you're enjoying the content, please let me know, please say so. And yeah, I just love chatting with my community, it's great. And with this we end up finding the final key item, the white mask. It's now added to our inventory, and we're now going to have to explore our way down to Mysidia. It's some town, I can't fully remember. But now that we're fully found all of our enemies, we're basically just going to be using this time to hunt for monsters. And as you can see, in our practice and in our fighting, we're able to level up our spells and stuff. So Tainted getting more HP, Tainted getting more intellect, and obviously intellect is then, you know, connected to our magic stat as well. So yeah, we're not doing too bad. We do finally get the enemy we're looking for. We were hunting for a killer mantis, and at this point in time I just was using thunders and teleports and death. So, you know, Tainted is able to then destroy it with death, and Recusant is able to teleport them away. So it actually does just insta-kill stuff quite quickly, because, you know, DJ's punch, as we've said numerous times on the channel, is just an instant kill effect anyway. But, you know, look at this, bump bump, the two enemies are gone, and then death works as well, or DJ can take them out. So with AoE one-hit KO moves, it's all doing very, very well. We now have these enemies, the Changer, the Parasite, and the Brain. I think Parasite we've seen before, but we do get the Changer and the Brain enemies. And Can Layla get a kill? Oh my god, Layla got a kill. Absolutely aced, amazing. And then DJ getting the second KO, and then, you know, we're all just attacking here now at this point. It's a matter of just getting the turn, really. But yeah, we've all our treasure chests, and now we're just gonna quickly click through the bestiary and just 67, 2 more till a very nice number. Brilliant. But we're after getting the enemy the Rios, we're after getting the enemy the Changer, and the Brain, and then the Killer Mantis, and those were the enemies that we were kind of hunting for in this particular zone. So once you have all of those added to the bestiary, we can basically progress with our what's the word? We can progress on with the story. We can continue on. The interesting thing here, I was going to try and teleport or warp, but strictly speaking, you are in a town. This is not considered a dungeon for whatever reason. So we can't actually teleport out the world map, unfortunately. I don't know the reason for that. I'm not sure why it is, so I just turn off encounters and make my way out. But now we get to go find Mysidia, not Mysterio, whatever word I said. But we just need to make our way to the boat. So, in the wise word of Tantacles, don't buy a boat. But I mean, we commandeered a boat. We didn't buy it. We bested the captain in honourable combat. And then once we get to the southern island, I suppose, the southern peninsula really, it's just quicker to sail down. We can find more brains and we get more levels and stuff like that, but we can encounter many new enemies for the bestiary, and it is really, really important that we take the time now to unlock all these different enemies, because if we let the game go too far ahead, some of these enemies won't spawn anymore. So just make sure you're getting these guys outside Mysidia ASAP. And just like the bad breath from the Rioses, these cockatrices can have the capability of petrifying the party. So if you particularly see a team of like 5 or 6 cockatrices, you're in trouble. So you can save quite regularly, or as I say, turn off encounters, save, but there's lots of enemies to be found and we need to be hunting them down for the bestiary. So the next one is our blackcurrant jelly, the black flan. Maybe they're like a charcoal version where it's like an antioxidant or something, but we need to get rid of the black flan there. There's also like, it's like a flan and then a jelly and then like all these different dessert type things. But just don't forget, we have Asuna and we have like so much MP, it's not even funny. So just make sure you're curing these status effects, particularly if like Asuna comes up, particularly if like all these other elements come up. And now we have ghosts. These guys are very much like the yellow guys from previously, and they will also do a ton of damage, so just be mindful of that. Using up our cures just to get, you know, Tainted back to full hit points as well. Hopefully with a nice haste, DJ will do plenty of damage. So they're doing like 700 to Recusant. We're after getting hit with Curse. Don't even know what Curse is. Don't even know if Asuna will cure Curse. But we're gonna just have to do our best and hope that it will. Yeah, Asuna gets rid of Curse. That's nice to know. We're after getting our speed boost. We're after getting our aura boost. We're after getting our berserk boost. And poor old Layla just getting absolutely destroyed. But with all those massive boosts given to our boy, we're well able just to one-shot them now at this stage. So add it to the bestiary, no hassle. Yeah, see this Basuna. I think Basuna is for stuff that doesn't linger, and Asuna is stuff that would linger out of combat. But after getting another boost of stamina, but as I say, some of our characters' agilities are just so low. Like, oh my god. Need to figure out how to get 99 and everything at this point. Like, do we just have to teach DJ the cure spell and just let him cure everybody to get like super high MP boosts and stuff? I don't know. Let me know if you feel very strongly that everyone should be the best at everything, or is it okay that I'm just kind of building them as certain archetypes and whatever stats they have at the end, or the stats they have at the end. But yeah, another ghost. They generally give you very good EXP, like, so let's not be too disappointed. But once again, we're getting HP boosts, we're getting our spells leveled. You know, it's the vibe, it's good. We already have all these. A vampire girl we've had before. We've had the killer mantises, but just in case you don't recall that we did, like, very early on in the series, fight vampire girls and stuff from going slightly south of Altair. You know, all as well. And again, we're just going through the bestiary being like, okay, we have these, but we're still looking, we're still missing certain ones, and I just was triple checking, like, DJ's physical attack hasn't gone up at all. So, like, when is he going to be getting another level up, guys? We need it to happen sooner rather than later. But we end up with the fire spell, and we end up with 2 new enemies, the flying ray and the big horn. And then I believe all that's left, don't quote me, but I believe the only other fiend that's left is the imp. But I do end up moving on just because I'm like, oh my god, it's only 1 enemy. I'm sure I can find it before things get too crazy. But it's around this area. It seems to be a rare spawn. The imp is what we're looking for here. I don't know what it spawns with. It could only be 1 enemy. It could be just a horde of enemies that, like, are all imps. I don't know what it is, but we've seen none this entire episode so far, and like, I've been cutting out numerous battles that were literally just, we didn't level up anything, but finally Tainted crests and gets another MP level up, getting her into the 700s nearly of MP, so that's really good. And as I say, we're up to 72 now. And obviously there's a bunch of bosses to be added to that as well, so like there's certain story elements that are going to have to be, you know, considered enemies into the bestiary. So I am hopefully going to basically do what I did with Final Fantasy 1, completely get all the bestiary done, and then when we confront the final boss will be logged into the bestiary, and then we'll get like the complete the game and complete the bestiary all in one go. But we are looking for a red, not soul, we're looking for like a, instead of a black flan, it's like a red jelly, I think it is. Something like that. Or is a yellow jelly and red something. But they're all just dessert names anyway. But I just keep on wandering around the mountains, wandering, you know, to try and get some semblance of an encounter. But then we have it, the red moose. So we're just going to cure and fire and attack and hope that we get the KO. Because they need to be KO'd, they can't simply flee. Because if they flee, you're not adding them to the bestiary, which is not the vibe, but again, I kept on hunting and eventually I said, oh, do you know what, I'm at this 40 minutes, I'm going into Mysidia. I'm going to chat to the people here, and they're very much like we're the Kingdom of Mages. And it's here where we're able to get a very powerful tome. We're able to get the Holy Spell, guys. And this is now going to become Rikuzen's favourite spell. I think I'm going to be giving Holy to Rikuzen, and I'm going to be giving Ultima to Tainted. It is only fair. Holy is the most powerful white magic spell, and Ultima is the most powerful black magic spell, so it's only fair. From what little bit of research I've gotten though, Ultima apparently scales off like white magic spirit energy and not black magic intellect, which is wild to me. Now, as it happened, I was exploring the town, and if you go into the bookshelf in that house, you will get what's needed to progress. But I ended up just wanting to go into the magic shop, and then I go over and I end up purchasing a bunch of items. We have like our Basuna tome, we have all sorts of different tomes here, and I'm literally then thinking, when we eventually get Adamance, I want to at least be able to give him a variety of different spells that I'm able to. Just to have him as kind of the mixed mage, the kind of debuffer. Like, realistically, probably Tainted didn't need the buffing and debuffing spells, but like at this point I'm like, there's nobody here to do them. Like, she's the only mage that can have these black magic spells, so like when it comes to Berserk, when it comes to the different things, I'll probably have Adamance learn similar. I mean, they are siblings, so it could also make sense as to why they have similar learn sets, I suppose. But I have to say, I am really, really enjoying the story. It's a lot more, I suppose, involved than Final Fantasy 1 was. Like, the premise was interesting, rescuing the 4 different crystals, but the fact that we have so many NPCs and they're recurring, they're joining us one minute, they're then separated from us the next minute. You know, I think it's really, really good. I think the story's really good. I think the characters are great. And the fact that the characters are named, do have personalities, do have interconnected, you know, family ties and hidden talents, like DJ can speak Beaver. You know, it's it all wraps it very nicely together in a bow, I think. But basically, when you look at this bookshelf up the top, oh god, I'll get there eventually. But eventually we get up to the bookshelf and it does say that we are going to need the black mask in order to progress, and we do need to basically make the white mask as an offering to the goddess beneath Mysidia. And then it's saying, fit the black mask upon him, and both he and his defiled heart shall then fade. In the past pandemonium, the palace of the Lord of Hell emerged into our land. This is the history of the Ultima tome. The mages of old wove a spell of fearsome power and banished pandemonium. However, the mages feared that the spell was too dangerous, and so it was sealed within a tower, so that the spell could be kept secret, basically. And we're now trying to basically find the key to unlocking and discovering that Ultima tome. The first step to do that is to go down and offer up the white mask to the goddess statue. And pretty much that's going to be our episode, guys. So I have been the RPG Recusant. You've all been absolutely amazing. Please leave a like and a comment, and I hope you have a continued wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you've tuned in to watch us here today. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Bye bye bye.